We meant to leave, but we knew we were on sacred grounds because Rose told us. So we're gonna go with we meant to leave, but we were attacked and left there unconscious. So you admit to having waged a battle on our sacred ground. The fox asks me, shocked. This is much more heinous crime than having simply trespassed on our territory. Crime that is punishable by death. Wait, what? You will have been given 24 hours to make peace with your gods and to write your final letters to your family. Your execution will be carried tomorrow at dawn, but be sure to have everything done by then. Now wait just a second, Darren says. What kind of nonsensical sentence is this? Who sentenced someone to death like that just because they happen to fight on your territory? Do you also execute your fawns and cubs if they don't keep off the grass in the park? You would be wise to not address me in such a casual manner, Mage in Armor. Elia says, but to answer your question, the animal kingdom has neither parks nor a rule to keep off the grass in any region of the continent. However, if there were such a rule and a cub or a fawn were to break it, then I would assure you I would not hesitate in ordering their execution. Rules are meant to be upheld both by humans and by animals. The fact that you humans are so lenient with the rules is one of the main reasons why your society is decaying to such a degree, or this is a dictatorship. A tyranny, I would say, rather than no kingship, maybe kingship. I don't know. Dictatorship and kingships are different, so we don't know just yet. I will hear no more of it. You have until tomorrow to mediate and reflect upon what you have done. Use this time wisely. With these last words, the golden fox leaves, and a bull companion hurries to follow her. The leopard stays behind for a bit and magically conjures a yellow envelope on the floor in front of him. Out of the thin air. Then he uses one of his front paws to push the envelope under the metal bar door into our cell. Once he makes sure that he got our attention, he also goes to follow the fox and bull without uttering a single word to us. Rose picks up the envelope from the ground and opens it. Inside there is a small note that appears to be written in common language. What does it say? If you reach a corridor that's split into 3 paths, each marked with the symbol of an insect, choose the one marked with a beetle. Okay. The split in 3 paths, each marked with the symbol of an insect. Choose the one marked with a beetle. Hold on, Kate says. Does this mean that Leopard expects us to escape and is giving us directions? So very, Darren asks in particularly loud voice, even though we're all very close to each other. What do you figure we should do next? Do you think we should wait until tomorrow and see if the golden fox has changed of heart? Maybe we should hold another vote to decide our best course of action. What do you say, Barry? Should we hold another vote? The smug grin he has on his face is getting a little irritating. That's enough, Darren. Kate says, none of us could have known the fox's intentions were beforehand. There still left no guards to watch over us, so no harm was done. In fact, we may even be in a better position than we were before, judging by the contents of the note the Rose is holding in her hand. Aye, Hardrick says. We all agreed to hear the fox out before we escaped. It was a good idea while it lasted. Having been left with no other alternative than to break out of our cell, we waited a few minutes to make sure that the fox and her lieutenants were out of hearing range, then Hardrick shattered the wall of our prison with his fist. As we step out of the rubble and take a good look outside our cell, we see that the corridors we have just entered is completely deserted. If it weren't for a few lit torches here and there, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to assume that this building had been abandoned a long time ago. Our cell seems to have been placed at the far end of the corridor, which means that the only way for us to go is left. I don't like this, says Kate. I've been a long time ago. Okay, so some shit has fallen down or whatever. Okay. I don't like this, says Kate as we walk towards the corridor. This is the same direction in which the fox and her followers went. The last thing we want is run into them while we are escaping. Well, it's not like we are given much of a choice, Hardrick says. There's only one way to go after we walk out of our cells. There hasn't been any forks in the road since then. What intrigues me most is that we haven't passed by a single cell since we got out. Isn't this supposed to be some sort of dungeon of some sort? Where are all the other prisoners? Maybe they only have one cell per corridor, Rose suggests. Forget the prisoners, I say. I'm more worried about the complete lack of guards in this place. Do they seriously think that we couldn't bring down those frail old walls without magic? Heroes, Darren calls out as he studying the writing on the wall. Can you come over for a second? Certainly, Rose says she heads over in his side. Can you read ancient languages? You can read ancient languages, right? Can you tell me what this says? Rose says as she looks at the text and furrows her brows. I'm afraid this is a bit too advanced for me. I can tell that it's written in the language used by the Lesati of old, but I cannot, I'm just gonna call them Lesati, and I cannot understand any of the words. Barry, Darren says, didn't that trinket of yours have a stat named ancient language? Come over here and tell me if you can translate this. I can't, it's way high level. As I approach the glyphs on the wall, I attempt to decipher, but the words used too complicated for me to understand at the current level of my knowledge. I might stand a better chance if I max out my ancient language stat. However, I'm sorry, I say I don't have enough levels in my ancient language stat to understand what it says. So Darren says, just level up your stat and see what it says. Isn't that what the device is for? Tell him that I don't have enough available points to level it up. Yeah, I don't have any. Do I? No, I don't. Okay, I don't have enough available points to bring my ancient language stats to a high enough level. What, seriously? Then I asked, do you just spend all your points immediately after you get them? Don't you ever consider saving some extra points in case of an emergency? I don't, because it's because there's no indication that when we would need a stat. You do realize that there's never an indication that when we go into a fight, it just starts all of a sudden, and I don't know what stats I would need to survive in that fucking fight. So I prefer not just spend all of it. Size, well, I suppose we won't be getting anywhere by just standing here and staring at it like a bunch of owls, he says. He steps away from the wall and starts to walk down the corridor again. We should just get going. And Darren stops in mid-sentence when he realizes there is someone blocking his path. The little girl standing in front of him with her hands behind her back, a cheerful smile on her face. She is wearing a golden amulet around her neck, a grey tank top shirt, a large pants, uncommonly worn by clowns, and no shoes. She's about 4 feet tall. Her long red hair is almost reaching her waist. Given her height and general appearance, I'd say she is no older than 10, and yet I'm not getting any sorts of warning to not hurt her. Isn't she one of the locals? Hello, she says to Darren, still smiling. What the? Darren says, where did you come from? There, the girl says while pointing towards a hole in the ceiling. Oh, okay, Darren says, and what are you doing here? We were just doing some training in the room above when we heard you talking about below us. My name is Flower, pleased to meet you. Whoa, hold on there, who's we? Flower seems to be caught off guard by Darren's question. Didn't I say we? Did I say we? She says, I'm sorry, I meant to say I. I was just doing some training in the room above me. No we, just I. Okay, that is creepy. Did she say we? Oh yeah, there's multiple people up here. What do you mean by training? Kate says. Well, a lot of stuff, the girl says, but mostly I come here to practice my acrobatic skills. There are all sorts of traps around here. I try to dodge them while doing fancy backflips or while running on the wall. It's really fun. What is he, an assassin? There are traps in this ruin? Kate asks. Yeah, the place is filled with them. You need to watch your step. You're not going if you're not from around here. You all come here to sightseeing? No, Kate says. We were captured by the animals. And why would you say that to a girl? And locked up in a cell. We're currently looking for a control room so we can turn off the collars around our neck. You would happen to know where that is, would you? Control room, Flower asks, and then she pauses a little to think. Oh, you mean the room full of levers and buttons? Sure, I know where that is. Follow me, I'll show you the way. As she starts walking down the corridor, Darren says to me in a low voice, something's not right here. The spell that the organizers cast on us isn't reacting to her in any way. What do you think the cause is? Maybe she's an animal in disguise. Maybe she also participated in the tournament. Maybe she's a prisoner here. No, I think she's a participant in the tournament. I feel like that's the worst situation, and I always go for the worst situation. Maybe she's also participating in the tournament. A 9-year-old girl participating in a deadly tournament between mages? Not everyone has a death wish like you, Barry. It doesn't matter who she is, Kate interrupts. She clearly knows this place better than us, and if she were working with the animals, she would have already alerted them of our presence. Either way, there's only one path for us to take at this point, so we don't really have much choice than to go after her. We'll decide decide later if we should trust her or not. I was thinking, a lot of games have people knocking other people out, and then like them getting into trouble because of this, and like no one who the one who is knocking someone out, do they just not, like, it just doesn't register to them that that person could be in trouble because they knocked them out into a hostile area? Like Mona knocked us out in fucking Max Payne 1, and fucking now this her friend Diane knocked us out in the middle of a fucking forest. So I really can't tell. Anyway, we'll decide later if you should trust her or not. When we catch up with Flower, we hear her start talking with a much colder tone than before. While she speaks, she is still walking down the corridor. Her back is turned to us. What's wrong with you, Flower? She says in her cold voice. We came to these desolate ruins to train, not to play the tour guide. We don't even know who these people are. Relax, Petal. The Flower says, oh, she has a schizophrenia or like some multiple personality sort of thing. Relax, Petal, the girl says. This time in her previous cheerful tone. They seem like nice people. We can get back to training. Was it done showing them around? This shouldn't take long. I'm sorry, who are you talking to? Kate asks. Flower gets startled by Kate's question and quickly turns around to face her. Did we say that out loud? She asks. I mean me, not we, because there's only one of me. Wait, are you implying there's more than one of you in there? Darren asks. What? No, that's crazy. You're crazy. She then starts laughing very nervously and unnaturally. Did she just call me crazy? Darren asks. Suddenly there's a muffled laughter coming from within the golden amulet that Flower is wearing around her neck. The girl opens up the amulet and starts talking to it. Shut up, Araka, she says. Now that I can hear the laughter clearer, I realize the voice inside the amulet is made up of 3 different voices, all women laughing simultaneously. Once the being inside the amulet realizes that we can now hear her clearly, she's speaking to us. Hey, you there. The voice says, this girl's a banshee. Quick, check her magical aura. Check her magical... What? Okay. Flower panics and she closes the amulet, shutting the voice up, but the harm has already been done. As I analyze her magical aura in detail, I realize that it's in fact a lot more powerful than it seems, and that she is willfully suppressing it in order to make it seem like that of a normal human. But is she an actual banshee or another artificial mage like Kate? There's something off about her aura. I can't tell exactly what. It feels almost as if she has 2 distinct magical auras around her, one that gives off an otherworldly vibe and one that doesn't. So I'm guessing she has like a situation like medieval fantasy, like a vampire situation, because demon soul is riding you or whatever. One that doesn't. It's as if both the girl and the banshee that possessed her are somehow coexisting in the same body as 2 separate entities. But that's impossible, isn't it? Well, there's a lot of things you said were impossible, but they're turning out to be true. So that's what she's been hiding from us all this time. Darren says. He then turns to the girl. Kid, you're in luck, she says. You don't need to live in fear any longer. Despite my looks, I just so happen to be an established white mage. I'll rid you of your banshee problem in no time. What? The girls are shocked. No, you can't. Of course I can. Don't worry about the collar. The sword has more than enough enchantments on it to enable to be able to carry out a purification ritual even without me casting any spells. The banshee will be dead before you know it, and you'll be able to live your life as a normal girl again. No, Flower shouts. She's my friend. I won't let you hurt her. Friend? Darren asks the girl as he approaches her. That is even more serious than I thought. I need to get you... What is happening with Darren with the purification thing? I need to get you purified quick. You're not thinking straight anymore. When he gets closer to Flower, one of the stones that he stepped on starts sinking into the floor, and we can hear some stones moving up above our head. Look out, Flower says, pointing upwards. A large rock detaches itself from the ceiling and descends upon our head. The girl raises her hand, and with her palm facing the boulder, she shoots a fireball at it, which pulverizes the rock. Holy shit. As we are getting showered with rubble from the destroyed boulder, the walls are now slowly starting to close in on us, with a loud and menacing sound echoing all throughout the corridor. Great, we set off a chain of traps. Oh no, Flower says, I remember this trap. This isn't good. The walls aren't going to stop until they turn us all into red gooey paste. She starts looking all around her for a way out, and then her eyes find the hole in the ceiling that she used to get into our corridor. Okay, I got an idea, she says. I think I may be able to create an enclosed space here by blowing up the ceiling on both sides by the corridor. I can then flood the room with water so that we can all swim up to the hole in the ceiling. Can you guys swim? Well, I'm dressed from head to toe in heavy armor, so what do you think? Darren says again. Asks her, okay, new plan. I think there was a secret mechanism in the room above to stop the walls from moving. Petal, can you give me a boost? The girl puts both arms alongside her. With her palms facing downwards, 2 powerful jets of water starts erupting out of her hand, which lift her into the air right through the hole in the ceiling. What the hell? Darren says, didn't she use fire magic just a moment ago? Don't tell me that she's already mastered 2 elements by the age of 9. Actually, I think that's water is the banshee's element. I tell Darren. What did you just say? He asks me. Guys, can you hear me? Flower asks us from the room above, but she then continues to talk without waiting for us to answer. Just wanted to let you know that I found the secret mechanism, but you see, the thing is that there is more than just one mechanism, and I don't really know which one of these is the right one, but I'm sure I'll figure this out in good time, probably. But that's it, Hadrick says. I'm going to punch right through the wall until we get to the other side. What? Kate shouts. No, don't do that. You're insane. What if the wall is the only thing holding up the ceiling above us? It will all come down crashing upon us once you destroy it. So you'd rather sit here and get squashed between 2 walls then, Hadrick says. Not seriously thinking that the little goofball up there is going to figure out the complex mechanism that runs this place before the walls reach us, do you? You guys, Flower says, I don't know if you can hear me, but I just realized that I forgot to tell you one important thing. Whatever you do, don't smash the walls. Okay, good. Now then, let's see. I think I've got this. Okay, no, that was the light switch. Back to the drawing board. So I had to ignore Kate and Flower and to smash through the walls. Well, we should wait a bit longer. I was initially thinking that Hardwick could like hold the walls apart for a while, but whatever, I'll say. I'm just gonna go with let's wait a little bit. Hardwick is too risky. Gonna give Flower just a little more time. Hedwig looks displeased that he isn't getting any kind of support from the group. Alright, then Hardwick says, if no one likes my idea, then I hold off for a while longer. But mark my words, if those walls actually reach, I'm not going to hold back. After 15 more seconds of waiting, the walls finally start to slow down. Soon they come to a halt. It doesn't take long for Flower to make her appearance again, with a victorious smile on her face.